Okay, hello everyone. Just wanted to explain this animal project if you need some help. So yesterday you should have picked one of these groups from the list. Okay, you could pick any one. I'm sure you've heard of some or all of them. Okay, so you could pick any one of these, and that's what you're going to be doing your project on today. Okay, so basically you chose a major animal group yesterday. Now they're all going to share similar characteristics, right? They all have things in common. That's why they're grouped together. And today you're going to see that they can be broken into smaller groups, which I'll just call subgroups. Okay, you could have 3, you might have 4. An example of this could be in the reptiles. They can be broken down into turtles and lizards and chameleons, and your gator group. Insects can be broken down into beetles and moths and caterpillars. And there's other examples. Mammals can be broken up into how they reproduce. So there are monotremes, which are mammals that lay eggs. There are placentals, which give birth like us. And there are marsupials, which, like the kangaroo, doesn't really have a true birth, but it keeps their young in a sort of pouch, right? We actually have a marsupial around here called the opossum. If you've seen one, it looks like a big, scary white rat with red eyes. Looks pretty scary. Not too scary in reality. So anyway, today, this is what you're working on for part 2. Okay, you've got to take your animal group. Let's just go over the title slide real quick. This should be pretty easy. Put your name, put the group, throw up a picture of something related to that group. Great. So I made a project on the annelids here. This is a group of worms. This one's a little harder, so your group's going to be easier than this. But I chose the annelids, which are the segmented worms. You could see these little segments here. So if we go back, you're going to first tell me what are the characteristics of this group. And that's for 5 points if you get all of them. If not, you're going to be losing points here. Each characteristic needs a fact about it. Explain what it is. That's a great fact to put. And then find a picture that shows me that characteristic in some way. It could be an actual photo, could be a drawing or illustration. So if you go back to my report, what is an annelid? So they have a one-way digestive tract, which means food enters through a mouth and exits through an anus. It goes one way through, like same as us. Okay, animals before this actually would have food and waste enter and exit through the same opening, so that would be not a one-way, be a two-way, because food goes in and waste comes out the same way. Another characteristic of these guys is segmented bodies. They have repeated sections called segments. Each segment looks like a little ring. You could see it here, or in this guy, the vertical sections going across, you can see as well. Another defining characteristic is Chaetae, I believe it's pronounced, and they're just small bristles on the skin. They can help provide traction when they're in the ground. They can hook onto things, and that's a microscopic picture of one. And then they also have a closed circulatory system like us. Okay, they have blood in veins. Before this, animals didn't have this, so that's something characteristic of the annelid family as well. So that was those are the major characteristics I could find. And then I'm going to look for the subgroups next. So how can we break this down into further groups? And these smaller groups will have things in common as well. So the 3 major subgroups I can find they're each a type of class. The first, the polychaetes or Chaetae. I found this interesting artwork. This isn't my picture of one, but I thought I'd throw it up there because it's nice. These guys are marine worms, which means they live in water. Okay, let me go back to the rubric for a second. I want the name of each subgroup. I want a fact for each and a picture of an animal. And that animal should have a common name and scientific name. So if you go back to my report here, I needed to post a picture of one of these polychaetes. I found the sandworm, and there's its scientific name. Okay. The second group I found was the oligochaetes. Okay, so they're terrestrial marine worms that include earthworms, which you should have seen around here. They look like this. They come out when it's raining. I found the common name, earthworm, and the scientific name. In the last group, class Hirudina, which are marine and terrestrial, which means they live on land or water. And they include leeches, which are parasitic worms. Okay, you could see it here. It's feeding on, it's using its sucker to eat the blood of the host. So I found this European medicinal leech, and I found its scientific name. Yes, this is used. Leeches can help to clear off blood from a wound and actually help you heal. And they've been used for many years this way. So that's my example. Again, yours is going to be, I think, easier than mine. Okay. But you've got a rubric for today. The big idea is that your major group can be broken into smaller groups, and I think you shouldn't have any trouble finding any information. If you do, you could let me know. I'll be happy to post some info for you or show you where you can find it. Thanks, guys.